If you don't want to live a miserable life, never do 5 things. When the soul is deeply wounded, when the desire and obsession are afflicted, when you're stuck in a swamp of mannerism. Everyone has a serious life problem. Uncertain future, dissatisfaction with society, your identity, your pride, your death. The problem has always been and always will be. But no one gives me a cool answer. You have to go through it alone. But in fact, there's a life-shaking advisor. It's closer than you thought. It's philosophy. Philosophy brings up life's problems that everyone has to experience. Show you how to look at the problem. So today, in the course of reflection through philosophy, if you don't fix it now, you'll live an unhappy life. Let you introduce 5 kinds of mindset. 1. To fight fate head-on. When life fell apart after hard work, when the future looks dark, some people are trying to change their fate. They are going to fight head-on. When you hear it, you fight destiny head-on. It sounds like a cool word. But in fact, confronting fate is the dumbest thing ever. Our lives are like shipwrecked waves. It's like being pushed by the tide of the world. The philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson. The worst thing about life is that it's fate. It's a stretch. He advised us not to confront fate, but to overcome the fate of fate. Fate, like a rough sea, swallowed up the ship and the crew. If you know how to control the boat and the flow of water, the current is fast. The power to steer the ship will rise again. According to Emerson, fate is a process of moving forward. This is when we should be allies of fate, not adversaries of fate. It is to learn the destiny with the determination to die, and to cooperate so that the fate can continue to flow through it. There are endless difficulties in our lives. But every pain will be a good opportunity to grow. 2. Spending your life in hatred and resentment. There are people who hate and resent someone and live every day like hell. These people didn't live like this from the beginning. When life is hard and there is little sign of improvement, when there's no one to listen to, your mind is getting sharper. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, said he controlled and wisely dealt with someone even when he hated and blamed them. He lost his precious men on the battlefield, and his beloved son was sick, which was a hopeless situation of despair. Instead of resenting the situation, he constantly gave himself the advice he needed and raised his soul. When you need encouragement, you have to say powerful things, and when you need to be strict, you have to give yourself a stern warning. The power of words is greater than you thought. If you tell yourself what you need to hear, you will be able to control your mind and grasp your soul. 3. Being unable to endure solitude. There are people who have a hard time alone or can't stand loneliness. Especially in the 21st century, physical and mental noise is always filling our surroundings, so people rarely stay alone. We're losing our solitude. British psychiatrist Anthony Stowe stressed, "You must enjoy enough solitude to get you out of the world." Real changes in life often start when you become a loner. For example, it is not easy to quit smoking if you live in a workplace with many smokers. However, when you are away from your colleagues on vacation or on a long business trip, your desire to smoke may disappear. The time spent alone away from the group also has the effect of resetting life and letting go of bad habits. Life is a lonely journey after all. True happiness opens up when you can be happy even when you are alone. Solitude and loneliness are completely different. Being alone isn't just loneliness, it's a time of solitude that we should enjoy. If you have the ability to enjoy solitude in an era of all kinds of noise, you will be able to be a true enemy. 4. Living in constant comparison with others. We constantly compare ourselves to others unconsciously. You can't stop comparing yourself to your family, friends, acquaintances, and people passing by. Humans are animals of comparison. I'm overjoyed when my salary goes up from $1,500 to $3,000. but I'm no longer happy to hear that someone else's salary has gone up to $3,500. Economist Richard Sterling says comparison with others causes unhappiness. The secret to being happy is not special at all. They just don't compare their situation with those who are better than themselves. A better way to be happy is to look at life from an eternal perspective. A child who is deprived of snacks cries sadly as if he or she has lost the world, but an adult does not. Because he knows that snacks are a trivial problem in life as a whole. 5. Not letting go of your desires. There are people who always grab what they have and don't put it down, and want more than they have. But wanting more than what you have and wanting too much than what you need end up causing pain and suffering. Philosopher Eric Hopper said the belief that he would be happy if he had one thing or another makes him unhappy. This is because the desire that has grown big makes you feel like you are worthless. Just as dieting requires the courage to put down a spoon in front of ice cream, so does life. You have to put down what you have and go on a spiritual diet. In fact, the next thing you realize after you have more than you have is that what you've wanted so much is actually useless to me. Also, the more you have, the more you have to live an unhappy life worrying about losing it. It is foolish not to put down desire simply because others have it or to excel. A truly courageous person is a person who can throw away what he or she has. To live a happy life, you need an attitude that sometimes you can throw away what you have and don't want what you don't need. Life is a series of hurtful things. Whenever that happens, we stop and treat our wounds and don't have enough time to rest until the wound heals. Instead, he roughly puts on the pain relief patch, takes painkillers, and runs back to endure the pain. In the end, unlike an urgent mind, the speed is not up and the condition is worse. If my heart is broken, if my heart is cracked and hurt, I need something that can hold me firmly. It was Andy. Your subscriptions and comments give me strength. Thank you.